I don't know. You wanna stop by there? Maybe I'll go make something tea. You wanna grab something from the street, bring it home. But, yeah.
Most famous historical aircrafts of all time.
Messerschmitt Me 323 Gigant. The original design of this Messerschmitt Me 323 Gigant was intended as a transport glider. Later the airframe was fitted with 6 radial engines which enabled it to carry aircraft to serve their purposes. It was also vastly used during the World War II to airlift military equipment. The redesigned airplane could airlift a Panzer IV or an 88mm gun and its half-track.
This powered variant of the Me 321 military glider was the largest land-based transport aircraft of the war.
It was also extensively used during Rommel's campaigns in Africa.
Being slow, it, however, suffered significant losses at the hands of Allied forces.
Linke Hoffmann R2.
Another one of the historic German planes, the R2 was one of the most distinctive airplanes ever built.
Perhaps the most unique aspect of the Linke Hoffmann R2 was the size of its propeller.
The R2 was a biplane, 3 times the size of a standard biplane.
It had a single propeller that measured 6.9 meters tall and powered by 4 engines.
This propeller was by far the largest ever mounted on an aircraft.
And the airplane itself was the largest ever to fly on a single propeller. The Germans developed this aircraft for the World War I, but it was never ready for flight until sometime after the war was over. Tupolev An-20. If you have met the term "the voice in the sky," then you have encountered Tupolev An-20. This Russian plane was vastly used to broadcast Stalinist propaganda, the element it is most remembered for. The initial model was named after Maxim Gorky, a Soviet writer.
This featured a radio station, library, printing press and a sound-enabled film projector.
It later suffered a fateful crash, killing 45 people on board. Mil V-12. This is by all means the largest helicopter ever built. It featured 4 turbine engines powering its 2 massive rotors, the plane's most outstanding feature.
This helicopter was powerful.
It could lift well over 40,000 kilos of consignment and perform well beyond its design specifications.
It was originally intended to transport ballistic missiles, but since this was no longer a priority, the Soviet Air Force did not pursue its production.
Hughes XH-17. Another heavy lifting helicopter. However, this was for the US military, conceived in the early 50s. It featured a long powerful rotor measuring 39.6 meters with which it could lift over 4,500 kilograms. As the first helicopter project for the helicopter division of Hughes Aircraft, the Hughes XH-17 parts during its construction were scavenged from other aircraft. The giant helicopter was tested in Culver City, California over a 3-year period beginning in 1952. LZ-129 Hindenburg. The LZ-129 stood 245 meters tall and measured 40 meters high. It was generally designed for transatlantic flights as a passenger airship. Probably the most memorable thing about the Hindenburg is its disaster. The infamous airship caught fire as it was mooring, and killed 36 persons in the process. Hughes H-4 Hercules. You will likely meet the term spruce goose from time to time. That's the name commonly used to refer to the H-4 Hercules. It was built as a transatlantic transport craft during the World War II. The airplane was not completed before the war was over. Even though it only flew once, the Spruce Goose remains legendary as the largest flying boat ever to see the light of day. It holds the record for having the longest wingspan in the history of planes, at 97.5 meters.